Hi, I'm Dominic, an investment analyst on the team here at EU Asset Management. My role focuses on ethical fund research, primarily supporting the ethical MPS, but also supporting sustainability efforts within our MAB funds. In our MAB funds, we've introduced an innovative component designed to add a clear, measurable environmental tilt to the portfolios. We believe this product contributes positively to the environment without compromising on our investment strategy. That product is European Union allowances, or EUAs. EUAs are a relatively unique asset class, one that directly links financial markets to carbon reduction efforts. EUAs are permits issued under the European Union Emissions Trading System, known as EU ETS, which is the EU's flagship mechanism for reducing greenhouse gases. Companies in high-emitting sectors like energy, manufacturing, and aviation must hold one EUA for every ton of CO2 they emit. Crucially, the number of these allowances is capped, and that cap is reduced each year. This shrinking supply helps drive up prices and encourages companies to reduce their emissions to save costs or even profit from unused allowances. EUAs can be traded, creating a market price for carbon. As the supply of EUAs reduces or demand rises, for example, due to increased industrial activity and higher emissions, companies falling behind on emissions reduction targets, or new sectors being brought into the scheme, prices tend to increase. This reinforces the EUA's role as both a climate policy tool and a valuable investment asset. From an investment standpoint, EUAs have compelling long-term potential. Because they're designed to be scarce and become scarcer over time as the EU progresses towards net zero, they are naturally aligned with supply-driven price appreciation. As climate regulation tightens, the cost of emitting carbon will likely rise, supporting EUA valuations. They also offer something different to traditional asset classes. EUAs are uncorrelated with equities and bonds, giving us a valuable source of diversification. This helps strengthen the overall resilience of a multi-asset portfolio like MAB. That said, EUAs can be volatile, which is why we take a cautious approach, carefully managing exposure and blending them with other assets. Beyond the financials, EUAs make a real environmental difference. By investing in EUAs, we remove carbon allowances from circulation, effectively preventing them from being used by polluters. This reduces the overall supply in the market, driving up the cost of pollution and encouraging emissions reductions. The system also helps fund climate action. EUAs are sold at auction by EU member states, who are required to use at least 50% of the proceeds for environmental programs. And in practice, over 75% of proceeds go towards climate-related initiatives. So our investment in EUAs supports both emissions reduction and climate funding across Europe. EUAs, like many commodities, are subject to price swings. Their value can be influenced by energy demand, regulatory developments, or changes in supply forecasts. Because of this, we limit the position size to 1% of each MAB fund. This ensures we benefit from the potential impact, both financial and environmental, without taking on undue risk. Let's take the MAB Balance Fund, for example. As of 31st of December 2024, the estimated total carbon emissions from the companies held in the fund's underlying investments were around 4,756 tonnes of CO2 equivalent. With a 1% holding in the EUA ETC, the portfolio is effectively holding EUA certificates equivalent to 2.8 years worth of those emissions. While it's a small position size, it's strategically significant. It enhances diversification, strengthens environmental credentials of the portfolio, and provides tangible carbon coverage for the underlying investments. If you'd like to see how this applies to the rest of the MAB fund range, you can find full details on our carbon investing document available on the EU Asset Management website. Each MAB fund holds a 1% allocation to EUAs, and while the specific carbon coverage varies, the principle is the same. A targeted, transparent, and effective way to integrate carbon-conscious investing into a diversified portfolio.